N.J. Ojha appointed as the MGNERGS Ombudsman. N.J. Ojha, the former in-charge registrar for MS University, has been appointed as Ombudsman for a 2-year term under the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, MGNERGS. The state government also approved Sajjan Singh Amar Singh Padwal's appointment for Panchmahal district, as well as Dr. Ranjit Singh Nayak and Bhargav Trivedi for Dahod and Chota Udeipur districts. World Day Against Child Labor. The 12th of June. World Day Against Child Labor is observed on the 12th of June every year. It aims to focus attention on the global extent of child labor and the action and efforts needed to eliminate it. This International Day was launched by the International Labour Organization (ILO) in 2002. The theme for 2022 is ORLQO, Universal Social Protection to End Child Labor, or RDQO. Exim Bank extends $55 million credit line to Sri Lanka. Export-Import Bank of India has, on behalf of the Government of India, has extended a $55 million short-term line of credit to the Government of Sri Lanka. It has been extended for financing procurement of urea fertilizer. With this deal, Exim Bank till date has extended 11 lines of credit to the Sri Lanka government on behalf of the Government of India, taking the total value to $2.73 billion. Rabab Fatima appointed Assistant Secretary General of UN. Ambassador Rabab Fatima, permanent representative of Bangladesh to the UN, has been appointed as the Under-Secretary General of the UN. She will also be High Representative for the Least Developed Countries, Landlocked Developing Countries, and Small Island Developing States, UNOHRLLS. She succeeds Courtney Rattray of Jamaica, who was appointed as the chef de cabinet. Indian diplomat Amandeep Singh Gill appointed as UN Chief's Envoy. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has appointed Amandeep Singh Gill as his envoy on technology to coordinate programs for international digital cooperation. Gill has been India's permanent representative to the Conference on Disarmament in Geneva from 2016 to 2018. He is now the CEO of the International Digital Health and Artificial Intelligence Research Collaborative (IDARE) project. WTO Ministerial Conference to begin from June 12 in Geneva. The 12th World Trade Organization WTO Ministerial Conference will begin on the 12th of June 2022 in Geneva, Switzerland, after a gap of almost 5 years. The key areas of discussions and negotiations will include WTO's response to the pandemic, fisheries subsidies negotiations, and agriculture issues. The Indian delegation will be headed by Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal. National Museum of Customs and GST dedicated to the nation. The Aur Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, or Iconic Week of the Ministry of Finance, concluded on the 11th of June 2022. Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs Nirmala Sitharaman dedicated the National Museum of Customs and GST in Panji, Goa, followed by the inauguration of the GST Gallery. She also launched a set of board games, 3D puzzles and comic books under the series Or Learn by Play Or. UNGA adopts India-sponsored resolution on multilingualism. The UN General Assembly (UNGA) has adopted an India-sponsored resolution on multilingualism that mentions the Hindi language for the first time. The resolution passed on the 10th of June or 22 urges the United Nations to continue spreading vital communications and messages in both official and non-official languages, including Hindi. For the first time, the Hindi language is mentioned in the resolution. Russia, China unveil first road bridge. Russia and China on the 10th of June 2022 unveiled the first ever road bridge between the two countries. The kilometer-long bridge over the Amur River links the Russian city of Blagoveshchensk with Haihe in northern China. Consisting of 2 traffic lanes, the bridge cost around 19 billion rubles $328 million. PM inaugurates headquarters of InSpace at Bhopal, Ahmedabad. PM Modi on the 10th of June 2022 inaugurated the headquarters of the Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Centre, INSPACe, at Bhopal in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. INSPACe was established in June 2020. It is an autonomous and single-window nodal agency in the Department of Space for the promotion, encouragement and regulation of space activities of both government and private entities. Maharashtra gets 12 new conservation reserves or 3 wildlife sanctuaries. The Maharashtra State Board for Wildlife on the 6th of June 2022 approved 12 new conservation reserves and 3 wildlife sanctuaries. These protected areas will have an area of almost 1,000 square kilometers. The 3 new wildlife sanctuaries are the extension of the Lonar Wildlife Sanctuary, Kolamarka in Gadchiroli or Mukti Bhavani in Jalgaon. With new additions, the number of conservation reserves will rise to 27. A.R. Rahman appointed as ambassador of Indo-UK Culture Platform. A.R. Rahman has been appointed as ambassador of the Indo-UK Culture Platform, the Season of Culture, which marks the 75th anniversary of India's independence. It was officially launched on the 7th of June 2022 by Britain's Deputy High Commissioner to India Jan Thompson. The Season of Culture aims to strengthen India-UK collaboration in the areas of arts, English and education. WHO Award for PGI Chandigarh Centre for Tobacco Control. The WHO has awarded the Resource Centre for Tobacco Control (ARCTC) of the Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research PGMIR in Chandigarh with the Regional Director Special Recognition Award. The Resource Centre for Tobacco Control is a joint initiative of the PGMIR and the Union C. It was set up in 2018 by 25 organizations working over tobacco control in India. OECD slashes India growth forecast to 6.9% in FY23. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD) has forecast India's GDP growth at 6.9% for FY23 from 8.1% estimated earlier. This is below the RBI's estimate of 7.2%. On the 7th of June 2022, the World Bank had also slashed India's growth forecast to 7.5% from 8.5% for FY23. Malaysia to abolish mandatory death penalty. Malaysia on the 10th of June 2022 announced that it has agreed to abolish the mandatory death penalty. The death penalty will be replaced by or alternative punishments or at the discretion of the courts. In Malaysia, there are currently 11 offences that trigger the mandatory death penalty. In May 2022, Zambia had also announced its plan to abolish the death penalty. Tamil Nadu government sets up panel to regulate online gaming. The Tamil Nadu government on the 10th of June 2022 set up a 4-member panel to give recommendations to regulate online gaming. The panel is headed by retired Madras High Court Judge K. Chandru. Tamil Nadu had banned online gaming with stakes in November 2020, but the provision was struck down by the Madras High Court in August 2021. Tamil Nadu Governor R. N. Ravi. Tamil Nadu CM M. K. Stalin. China releases world's most detailed map of moon. China has released a new geological map of the moon, which it says is the most detailed to date. The map has registered even finer details of the lunar surface than mapped by the US in 2020. The new map was first published by Science Bulletin on the 30th of May 2022.